As Arnold Schwarzenegger would say in Terminator 2 when they came back in 1986, we're back. Sorry guys that we took a little break. This is going to be our Black Panther non-spoiler review, but if you've been following our channel, we have taken a little bit of a break. The reason being, I unfortunately got the flu, which of course everyone has been getting, and I didn't want to spread that to Jason. I know, I'm a
Thank
good
you
person.
for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome, buddy. That's what I'm here for. But yeah, that's why we haven't been around, and then also Jason and I have been a little bit busy with work too, not making excuses, but that's one of the reasons also we have not been around, but we apologize. We're back now. We're going to be pumping out some reviews, starting with Black Panther right now. This is going to be a non-spoiler review, so do not worry. We're not going to be giving away any plot points. We are going to be filming a spoiler review at another time, or actually a spoiler talk, and we will be releasing that most likely Friday of next week when the film comes out, because we don't want to really spoil anything or tempt you guys to look at spoilerific things. If you really want to find spoilers, I'm sure they're out there and you can go look, but we don't want to do that to you guys, so we're going to keep it non-spoiler for you guys. Now, getting to this film, it is directed by Ryan Coogler, and Ryan Coogler directed two films before this. He did Fruitvale Station, which is a really good film with Michael B. Jordan, and he also directed Creed, the latest Rocky film, also starring Michael B. Jordan. And
he really likes working with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he does, and for good reason. Michael B. Jordan is a fantastic actor, and he's also, we're going to get into his performance in this film, but I just really quickly want to say, he's outstanding in this. He's
really good.
He's probably one of my favorite MCU villains, if not my favorite one. I know Loki's right around there, but even though Loki's kind of good,
they just gave him a really good storyline and made you care about him, and his performance, was really good. I think probably one of my favorite movies that I've seen him in. I haven't seen all his movies, but I thought he did a really good job in this one, and he might be my favorite MCU villain, he might not be, but regardless, like his performance in this was really well done.
Ryan Coogler, I thought that was a very interesting choice that they got for this film, and I gotta say, he really understands the character of Black Panther, and I just thought like he just did a great job of, I mean, even though we did see this character in Captain America Civil War, it is still an origin film in terms of, you know, first solo film for the character, and also just, you know, the character just like, I'm not going into spoilers, but kind of like, you know, Thor, where he's got to become that king and like become the person that's you know, worthy enough to be of that you know, that stature. I thought they did a really good job of giving a lot of great conflict to the character, and also to, like, you really felt the stakes in this film, even though we all know the character's coming back in Avengers Infinity War, so that kind of...
That's all these movies have this problem,
yeah,
but you gotta overlook that.
Yeah, but in the moment in the film, like, they did a great job of really building up the stakes and really making you feel like, you know, the character's really in moments of danger, even though we know he's gonna be in the next film, or in the Avengers film, but still, like, you do feel that, and I thought, like, Chadwick Boseman... Just again, he was one of my favorite performances and characters in Captain America Civil War, and just again, he just embodies the role of T'Challa, and he is Black Panther, and I just love his performance, and I really love too the compassion of the character. You know, he really, you know, again, not going into too many spoilers, but he really is very wise and very intelligent, and I love the way he moves with his hand-to-hand combat, and really makes you believe like he's actually, like, you know, it feels like he's really doing those fight moves.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't only tested physically, just like mentally too. Like, when he becomes king, he has to make choices and figure out how he wants to rule his country and fit in with the rest of the world. So yeah, I like the way that they kind of questioned everything he was believing in.
I agree, and just adding to your point, I think they gave him a really interesting and satisfying arc in this film.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, we got to talk about Lupita Nyong'o, the relationship that they have. I mean, she is fantastic in this. Again, just all these actors with the way they move and fight, the hand-to-hand combat is just so well done in this that it's very organically done, and the relationship between her and T'Challa is it's just so organic, and I was so invested just right away early on, and I just think again they have such great chemistry, and I really enjoyed all their interactions together.
Yeah, she kind of had a different dynamic, a little different ways of going about things than he did, and it kind of conflicted, but it kind of worked together at the same time too. And a lot of humor came from that as well.
And adding to what you said, but I think that's what makes a good relationship. You know, having some of those differences and then conflicting with each other and then finding a resolution. So I really appreciate that, because if they were always agreeing with each other, I'm like, this is kind of getting boring and not realistic. This is not like a real relationship. So from your perspective, I thought it was just such an organic relationship, and I really enjoyed their interactions, and their chemistry is just really good. We got of course, we kind of already talked about Michael B. Jordan. Again, he's just, the reason why he's one of my favorite MCU villains is it's just the motivation that they give him and where they put his character and the environment that they surround him in and that he grows up in. It's just, they really make you you understand where his character's coming from. And I think some of my favorite villains are characters where you don't agree with what they're doing, but you completely understand why they're doing what they're doing. And I just, again, the performance and the delivery and I really felt he was menacing and just had a screen presence to him. Like whenever he, delivered dialogue, I was like, he's really menacing. And like he doesn't, what I mean?
Very convincing. Convincing performance.
And just his delivery too.
And the main thing is that you feel for this character. Like even in the end, like you almost feel bad. I also really liked his little sister, Shuri. I just thought she had such an attitude and was very funny and brought a lot of comedic moments to the movie. And their whole dynamic too, the brother and sister dynamic, and she's like super smart and just kind of very, very technologically advanced. She's kind of the one who is in charge of all of their futuristic technology, and she killed it. I mean, I really liked the character, and I thought it was interesting dynamic, the way that, the way everyone else was, she was a little bit different and kind of brought that little different dynamic.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And again, I loved the relationship and interaction between her and T'Challa, her brother. I felt that brotherly sister relationship and the history that they have behind it. And it just was very seamless and organic. And I was very invested in that relationship too. And just, how supportive she was of her brother, but at the same time, she could poke fun at him too. So it's just
talking shit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it felt so organic. And I really love that relationship. Really quickly too, we gotta talk about Okoye. She is freaking awesome. I believe she's the leader of the Dormelage, and
she's like the best kind of fighter in the whole.
Oh yeah, like her hand-to-hand combat and the way she moves. And again, I just love, again, talking about a little bit about support, like the way she really just supports T'Challa, and just again how it's that line Wakanda forever from the trailers. Just she just does a very good job of delivering her lines and just really coming off as a badass. And her hand-to-hand combat sequences are ridiculous. She is awesome.
Yeah, and there's a lot of conflict for her in the movie too, where she has to make really tough decisions about what to do and what her duty is. So
I think you just, we kind of talked about that a lot in this review, and I think that's something I really appreciate in this film, is all the hard choices and conflicts that these characters have to choose, and there's a lot of moral compass decisions in this film, and I really appreciate that everything's not so black and white. There's a lot of gray in between, and there's a lot of interesting choices that are made, and I think that's one of the things I really dug and appreciated about this film. Really quick, let's go over Everett Ross, played by Martin Freeman. He's actually, we kind of talked about this in the car, he's actually one of the few European actors or British actors, when they speak in an American accent, it's not just okay, I can tell it's a British guy with an American accent who's really passive. But he actually has a convincing American accent, and
he does.
Again, his characters had a bigger role than I thought he was going to have.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. But he was good.
And obviously, we were of course introduced to this character in Captain America: Civil War, so he's already had some interactions with T'Challa before that. So of course, we already have seen that as the audience from that film. And again, I like where they build upon that from where that ended off in Civil War to where we lead up to in this film. And again, just the role he plays in the film, like Jason and I said, just a lot bigger than we originally thought, which is good. I like things like that when I'm not expecting roles to be as big, as long as they're convincing and played by a really good actor, which he is both.
Yeah.
And again, his arc throughout the film, just from where he starts in the film to where he ends, I just thought it was a really, really cool take on the character, and I love where he ends up at the end of the film from, again, where he started at the film.
Yeah, because in Civil War he really had a really small role, and in this he actually had much bigger of a role, so we got to kind of see into his character a lot more, and I really liked it, the whole dynamic, just his kind of offbeat humor and just the way he interacts with all the characters. And he kind of was very out of place and just I don't know, kind of kept quiet sometimes, but it was definitely kind of cool to see him in a more developed role, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I love also him and Andy Serkis whenever they're in the dang, and even though we're not going into spoilers because this is from the trailer. If you have seen the trailers, there's an interrogation scene that you see from the trailers, and just anytime I'm seeing them next to each other, I'm just always thinking Bilbo Baggins and Gollum in the cave with the riddles. But Andy Serkis, he is he's fun in this movie.
I liked him a lot.
His humor, his comedic timing, he's pretty menacing himself. himself, and like again, just like when he's in crazy situations, just how the way his character plays it off, it's very entertaining. And last time we of course saw this character was in Avengers: Age of Ultron, so again, it's been a few years since we've seen this character, so I thought they did a good job just from where we left off last to where we leading up to again to this film, and I just thought Andy Serkis delivered a great performance, and I just really thought this character was very entertaining. Does he ever not give a great performance? No, not really. He usually even 13 going on 30. I love him in that movie too. So yeah, you're right. He usually does give a good performance. Good call, Jay. I thought the action in this film was phenomenal, from the aerial battles to the hand-to-hand combats to the one-on-one battles between the main villain and Black Panther, or rather the Golden Jaguar and Black Panther. There was a lot of great battle sequences too, where you see a lot of the tribes fighting each other. Just a lot of cool and crazy fight sequences. And also what I thought they did a good job, when there's a lot of people converging and fighting, they did a good job being pretty clear about what's going on. It's not like, just a bunch of random people fighting.
There were a couple of scenes where it was quick cuts, but for the most part you can see most of what's going on. And if used effectively, I think quick cuts can be cool. Just you want to be able to kind of see what exactly is happening in the fight. Yeah. And there was a couple scenes where it was kind of dark, or at least one that I can think of where it was dark.
Yeah, I know what scene you're talking about.
But it kind of played into the whole scene, so it didn't bother me at all, really. But yeah, I really liked it, and yeah, there was a lot of good kind of open battle scenes and close-knit one-on-one fights, so they kind of spread it out, which was good.
I think what I appreciated the most about the hand-to-hand combats is you felt the blows, you felt the punches, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. So seeing the theater, you kind of
of course, because obviously the bass is probably amped up a lot, but I'm just saying I thought the fight choreographer and the stuntman did a great job of just really making you feel like you're in those fights and feeling those blows. So that's what I thought that was a great job. We got to talk, of course, about the visual effects in this film. Fantastic,
really good.
The way they use Wakanda in this film, the technological advances and some of the visual effects, how things are drawn up. It's so amazing, incredible, and the
city looks great.
Oh, it looks phenomenal. You can tell there's definitely some Blade Runner inspiration for sure, but
maybe.
But it's got its own touch. But I just, again, the visual effects in this film are spectacular. I loved the visual effects, and also too, there's a prologue sequence where you see some interesting. I don't want to go into detail, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the film. How the film is prologued with the way the CGI does. It's really neat and interesting. So I really appreciate it in this film, and again, I love the technological beats in this film. How it's so advanced Wakanda, and it's just so neat. And one of the only gripes I can think of really is. I kind of predicted a couple things. As Jason, we also went with Greg Alba and John Humphrey from The Real Rejects. There was a couple things that I kind of saw coming and I predicted, which wasn't a bad thing. I mean, I didn't mind them. It's just I'm usually a much bigger fan of when I don't see something coming, and I get a little surprised. So it doesn't hurt the film. It's just me because I'm crazy and weird like that. But just when I see stuff coming, just sometimes it takes a little bit of the shock value away from me. But again, the choices that they did make, even though I saw them coming, were really interesting, good choices. I have no problems with those. It's just that I saw them coming. So, but again, they were done pretty well. So I can't gripe them too much.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have too many major gripes with this movie. The only ones I can think of are spoilers, so I'll save it for the next review. But
that's what we call a tease, people. See that spoiler talk, all right? All right, so wrapping it up. As I said, I love this movie, and I think one of the biggest reasons is because of Michael B. Jordan's character. Just so how invested I was in this villain. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty invested in just about every character for the most part in this film, but I've never really latched onto an MCU villain like this, where again you just really understand the character's motivations and you're just locked into why he's doing what he's doing. And I think Jason said it best. You really feel sorry and sad for this character and what he's gone through and why he's doing what he's doing. And I just thought I was very happy that they did a good job of kind of giving both characters enough screen time to develop both characters in terms of Black Panther and the Golden Jaguar, or the Bad Panther as I like to call him with Eric Killmonger. So again, this film is very well directed. It's very frenetically fast paced. It does not drag on very much at all, if at all. The acting by all the actors is fantastic. It's very interesting characters. You really get invested in them. The action is terrific. The visual effects are fantastic and some of the best I've actually ever seen for a film. The music in the film is terrific. The tone just really fits. Like I said, the tribal music that they have on top of the other background music just really fits in, and all the regular songs that they have too just really fit with this as well. And also too, I like a lot of the retro throwbacks that they do have in the film. I like how Marvel's really getting into a lot of the retro throwbacks of the 80s and 90s. Like, I'm really digging and appreciating that. So, like I said, I love this movie. It's great. I'm going to go high on this, which I usually do. And I'm going to say Black Panther, I'm going to give it a 9.4 out of 10.
It's pretty high. I really liked it too. I'm not going to go quite that high. I'm going to go about 8.5.
Okay.
But I had really no problems with this movie. I thought it was really fun, really well paced. I think that was my favorite part, was that it just kept moving the whole time. And it's not always action, it's always something interesting going on. So... And I think all of the main characters were great, and all the side characters were great. So there was a good, like, 5, 6 characters, maybe even 7 characters that you cared about. So it kind of that played well in with the pacing, because like some characters are always doing something that you are invested in. And then yeah, you said it, like, having a villain that you care really that much about, that you're that invested in, really helps the dynamic of hero versus villain type of thing that Marvel movies usually are. So I think that is what that's what the movie had going for it. That was really good. And yeah, I just really like this one a lot, and I'm going to go with my score of 8.5. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments section. We are going to be doing an Easter egg video as well as a spoiler talk for this one, so be on the lookout for that. And if you guys like these videos, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time. Wakanda forever!